Hey guys, okay, I'm going to show you how to use Tour Builder with Google so that you can work on your Europe tour guide. So the first thing that you want to do is open up Google Chrome. And once Google Chrome opens, you're going to type in tourbuilder.withgoogle.com. Okay, so this is what the Tour Builder website looks like. What you're going to want to do is click on the Sign In button. And as you can see, I have several different Google accounts. You want to make sure that you sign in with your Park Hill account. So it might ask you to actually type in your S number and information. It's just like when you sign into Google Docs or Google Drive. So I'm going to click on my Park Hill one. And it just went ahead and signed me in. It might take you to like the application portal and you'll have to type in your information, but you should already have an account set up through Google. Okay, so once you get to the Tour Builder site, you're going to click on Create a Tour right here. Okay, so the first thing it wants you to do is name your tour. Obviously, you're going to name it, your tour through Europe. So this one's going to be called Miss Z's Tour of Europe. Author name, you're going to put your name in there. And then you'll go down here and click on Create a Tour. Okay, so what happens is it pops up on the side over here kind of like a PowerPoint screen. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through and add all of the locations that you plan to visit for your Europe trip. The first thing that comes up is the introduction slide. So you can see that my tour name is Miss Z's Tour of Europe. I'm the author. And then what I want to do is add an introduction picture. So I'm going to click on Add a Photo. There are lots of things that you can do here, like you guys can see the pictures of you and stuff like that, but I don't want to upload a picture that I already have on my computer. I probably want to search for an image on Google. So what I would type in is maybe Europe, and it's going to come up with a bunch of different options. Okay, so you'll pick on the one that you want for your intro slide. I like this one. Once you've clicked on the picture that you want, you'll click on Select, and then it automatically uploads to your project. Now you can click on that picture and add even a caption to the picture if you want. Okay, so then down here it says tell the story. It asks what is a good summary for this tour. So my good summary would be, here is my sample tour of all of the cities in Europe that I would like to visit. Okay, it's just kind of a simple thing. You could even list out all of the different cities that you're planning to visit if you already know. Okay, and then if you scroll down a little bit, you can pick the color of the path. So this is going to be like the little line that drags across the globe over here that's pinning all of the different cities that you're going to visit in Europe. So I want mine to be blue. Okay, and then you can pick some different options down here as well. Like if you want borders and labels, see how the earth changes like that? Or you can pick if you want buildings to show up, different things like that. It's up to you what you want to have on there. Okay, so that's my introduction slide. Now, my first location is going to be in Kansas City. So I'm going to type in Kansas City, Missouri, and you want to select one of the options down here. Obviously, I'm not going to click Aldi or the Port Authority of Kansas City, Missouri. I'll just click on Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, now the reason I'm picking Kansas City as the first one is because that's where my tour is going to start. When you go in to pick your flights and everything, you're going to be flying out of Kansas City because that's what you would do in real life. Okay, so I'm going to pick Kansas City to start, and what you want to do is click Add to Tour. And then it's going to take you to a page that's very similar to the introduction page. Again, I'm going to add a video. I guess I could put in one of these pictures of you guys, or those are kids from last year. But I could put a picture of my home, like Kansas City somewhere. So let's say I'm going to use this Titans picture as my home slide. You can do just a picture of Kansas City or a picture of your house. It's totally up to you. Okay, so that's the one that I'm going to pick as my first location. Okay, now the start date, this is really important because this is the day that you're going to be starting your trip. Okay, so I'm going to go on a trip in the summer because I know that I will be free then. I'm going to start on June, we'll just start with June 1st, and the year is going to be 2015. Okay, now the end date of my trip, let's say I'm going to stay in Europe for 15 days. So my end date would be June 15th, 2015. You can pick whatever dates you want for this. Okay, you get to choose how long you would like to spend in each city. Okay, now my first location, it says introduction. What is it about? I am choosing to begin my tour in Kansas City because that is where I live. Okay, so it says I am choosing to begin my tour in Kansas City because that is where I live. I will fly out of Kansas City when I leave for my trip to Europe. Okay, so that's my first location. That's all I have to do. Then I'm going to add a location. So this is where it starts to get interesting. Okay, your first city that you're visiting is what you're going to type in for your next location on your tour. Because remember, you're building this tour of all the places you're visiting in Europe. So let's say you chose Paris, France as the first city that you want to visit. What you're going to do is go to the box and type in Paris, France. Okay, now some of the places will have more specific places that you want to visit in France. Just go ahead and pick the general city. You guys see how it's flying me over to Paris. Okay, what you want to do is make sure you click Add to Tour. Do you see how the line was created? So if I back out all the way back, you can see how that tour is being built across the ocean like that. Okay, so for each of your cities, you need to add at least 2 pictures of the city that you are visiting. For Paris, I'm going to pick the 2 places that I'm going to sightsee. Okay, one place that I might want to sightsee in Paris would be the Eiffel Tower. So what you'll do is you'll go and find a picture or a video. You can search on YouTube for a video of Paris, or you can search for images. I'm going to do an image. Okay, so something that I want to see in Paris is the Eiffel Tower. Okay, you'll pick the image that you like best. Ooh, I like this one. And then you'll click Select. Okay. Now, again, you can click on this and type in a description if you really want to. You don't have to do that. Okay, another place that I might want to see in Paris would be the Arc de Triomphe. Okay, I'm going to click on this one. Looks cool. All right, now down here, remember how I said I was leaving Kansas City on June 1st? Well, my flight probably wouldn't arrive until June, maybe later in the day, June 1st. It's about a 12 or 14-hour flight. Again, my year is going to be 2015. Now, I actually want to stay in Paris for about a couple days. So you'll add your dates that you're there. Okay, now in your introduction for this specific location, you need to type in Okay, so I said type in at least 3 sentences explaining the different places that you would like to visit in Paris. Your sentences should use appropriate punctuation and capitalization. You may need to do some research to find out about the city. All right, so you'll type in your own personal information. You can change the icon if you want to. You don't have to. I'll go ahead and change this one to blue because I know that's fun. It really doesn't matter to me. All right, so that is my first location. I'm done with my first city. I'm going to go in and add my next city, which might be London, England. Okay. Or I might add another city, which would be maybe Dublin, Ireland. You're going to add all of your different cities along with all of the information for each location. Remember, you need to have at least 3 sentences explaining each of the different places along with pictures. Okay? Once your tour is done, I'm going to go ahead and add in a couple cities down here, and then I'll show you what it actually looks like once it's all put together. Okay, so I've added in all my different cities. I have Paris, London, Dublin, Athens, Berlin, and then finally back home to Kansas City. So you'll notice your last stop is not your last city in Europe. You have to come all the way back home. Okay, now when you're done, you're going to go over to this corner and type in Done Editing. Okay, and then you can actually play it full screen if you want to see what your entire tour looks like. You might have to go all the way back to the beginning of your tour and start with that. But your tour is going to start out in Kansas City, something like this, and you'll click on Next, and it's going to drag you to your first location. Okay, now it does take a little bit of time to zoom all the way over there. It seems kind of slow. But once you get there, it's really cool because it shows you kind of a 3D tour of actually the different places that you're visiting. So you can see that it's zooming all the way into Paris. Okay? So you can watch your whole tour. You can go back in, edit things. All you have to do is click on this edit button right here. When you're done, you're going to share your tour with me, okay? So you can do this one of 2 ways, okay? You can copy and paste the link into an email and send it to me, or you can change your access to anyone with the link, and then you can enter my email address to send it to me. Okay? So you'll send that off, share and save. I'll get the email with the tour. Okay? Now, the nice thing about this is that anytime that you make changes, it saves it automatically, and that's one of the fabulous things about Google. Okay, so you'll go back into My Tours anytime that you want to work on it. So I do have a full sample here with all of the different places and all the different information that you can access on the Social Studies website, and then I also have the one that I just worked through with you guys. All right, good luck.